Hello, welcome to Basement Suites Done Right. Today I'll be talking about how to use a home equity line of credit to fund your basement suite. So let's say you have had a home for a while and you have equity inside that home. Equity just means that you have money sitting in the home that you have paid in terms of principal. So let's say the house costs $400,000, you have paid off $200,000. It means you have equity worth $200,000. The rest of it is money you still owe to the bank or to whoever lent you that money. A home equity line of credit would be something that is lent against that equity, the portion that you have already paid off. In many cases in Canada, if it's your primary residence, the bank or the lender is going to want you to have at least 20% of your own money that is sitting in that home. So they will take away that 20%. In this case, 20% of $400,000 will be $80,000. So they'll make sure that your 20% is sitting in the home. That is called having skin in the game. So they are making sure that you have money inside the house and you can't just walk away should things go south. So what do you think they can lend you out of the 200 that you have in equity? Since they have to keep the 80,000, which is 20% of the value of the home, they will be able to lend you about 120,000 if their loan to value is 20%. The skin in the game that I just talked about. So if it's 20%, they'll ensure that 20% remains with the house, and then they can lend you a portion or all of the remaining amount of the equity. So how do you use your home equity line of credit to fund your basement suite? Make sure that you are paying down your equity so that you increase that equity. And over a period of time, if you have that equity, you go back to the lender. They will need to appraise the home. Once they appraise it, and appraising just means looking at how much the value of that home is, they will find out that value and then calculate those figures that we just talked about in order to see what they can lend you. I do not advise people to take on a lot of debt. So if you are getting ready to use your home equity line of credit, make sure that what you are going to build in terms of your basement suite will actually bring in money to pay back that home equity line of credit so that you don't have to carry a huge amount of debt, because debt can actually bring you down financially if you don't know how to use it. It is a two-edged sword. If you really know how to use debt, you might get away with building wealth using a bit of debt. But in many cases, people who take on a lot of debt, they end up losing way more than they had envisioned. So be very careful with taking debt, but that is one way of funding your basement suite. So take the amount that you need to fund your suite. Remember, we've talked about many other ways of funding that suite. There is grant funding, so you can combine a part of a home equity line of credit with grant funding, where the government rolls out money to give incentives to people when they see a housing crisis coming. So they will partner with the homeowner and give the homeowner some money towards building the basement suite so that that homeowner can rent that basement suite to at least a person that needs that house. And the main thing to think about is that you have to have built equity in your home in order to be able to borrow against it. And when you borrow, do not borrow too much. Just borrow what you need to build the basement suite. And thirdly, once you've borrowed, make sure that the suite will be able to give you money to be able to pay back that home equity line of credit. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and like us.